Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Pokemon fans of the world, Mega Crasher is here, and I present to you guys a very, very awesome Pokemon Showdown, Pokemon team building video around Zygarde, so let's go! I gotta give a big shout out to my friend Darius Johnson for shooting me this team, and my friend, you are not gonna be disappointed with the way I review this team, because you are going to be energized. Everyone is going to be energized. Hell, I am energized, and I haven't even got into the core of the video yet. So with that being said, let's go into the team builder. Okay. Yes. So, allow me to review to you the first Pokemon, aka the Pokemon that is the MVP of the team, aka the Pokemon that this team is built around, aka... Alright, you guys already know how I feel about Zygarde. Zygarde's fucking awesome. Anyway, so this set that we got here for Zygarde, it is going to be a very bulky setup set. So, we got leftovers as its item of choice to allow you to have passive recovery at the end of each turn. And its only ability is going to be Aura Break. Aura Break in singles and even in doubles. It's ass. But we gotta take with what we've been brought. So, with that being said, let's move on. So, the first move we got here is going to be that Earth. That Earthquake! Woo! And Earthquake, base 100 ground type move. It is so damn powerful. Pretty much annihilates anything that isn't resistant to it. And then, up next, we got Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail is such a good move to have on Zygarde, because Dragon Tail not only does damage, but it also phases out Pokemon, which means that you can try to set up. You can try to set up your win condition, but Zygarde's just gonna be slithering in and be like, oh, you're trying to set up on me? Well, eat this Dragon Tail, bitch! Woo! Yes. However, because it's a Dragon type move, okay, it's a Dragon type move, which means that fairies are going to be immune to that shit, so you can't phase out fairies for whatever reason. Which kind of sucks, but that's just something we gotta deal with. Okay? So let's move on. So anyways, up next we got that Coil, and Coil boosts the attack, boosts the defense, and the accuracy all by one stage. Which means after one Coil boost, Dragon Tail's not gonna miss. Dragon Tail is base 90 accuracy, so yeah, it can miss. It can miss. And then lastly, we got the Substitute. Oh man, I love Substitute. Substitutes in the face! Substitutes take away 25% of your HP, but at the price. You throw up a sturdy decoy, which not only takes damage, allows for you to scout, but also protects you from being tricked, a choice item, and protects you from being statused. Because if this thing gets poisoned or burned, it is G to the G. So let's take a look at the EV spread right here. So we got a Careful Nature to boost that special defense. And we got 248 into its HP. That way we can give it an odd HP number so that it will be able to switch into entry hazards more often. We got 104 on the special defense just to give it that sexy boost. And then we got 156 onto the speed. Now the reason for this, okay? The reason for this, you know those Garchomps, right? Those tank chomps? The ones that like to run a little bit of speed and have a speed stat of about 264. Well, we need to have one more speed point to be able to outpace them and be able to outboost, outsetup, and outphase them. So, pretty much what I'm trying to say is this right here is meant to troll all over Tank Chomp. Not to mention, this speed number also allows you to comfortably be able to outpace base 70s speed boosting nature Pokemon such as Bisharp, such as Breloom, you know those fuckers that try to put you to sleep, those hoppin' mushrooms that like to put you to sleep. Well, guess what? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work with Substitute in effect. So this right here wraps up teammate number 1. So let's go on to teammate number 2, Days of Thunder. Yes. This Pokemon with Zygarde, oh my god. Thundurus in general, oh my god. Thundurus is just so damn powerful. It is so good! There's a reason why this thing was banned to Ubers in Generation 5. Prankster, Nasty Plot, hello? That is powerful. So, we got Life Orb as its item of choice, which allows for you to have a boost in the power of your moves by 30% at the cost of 10% of your health. Now that's fine, because Thunderous does a glass cannon anyways. And after one Nasty Plot boost, you take any attack that you want to do, and you're going to do lots of damage. With Life Orb, with Nasty Plot boosting, oh my god, it's going to be great. And then Prankster allows for you to have a +1 priority in non-attacking moves, which is amazing. Nasty Plot, non-attacking move. There you go. Woo! So the first move we got is going to be the Thunderbolt. And Thunderbolt, base 90 accuracy, or I should say base 90 power, 100% accuracy, 10% chance to paralyze the opponent. It is so good. It is such a solid power electric type move. And up next, we got Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave, base 95 power, poison type move that poisons and destroys fairy type Pokemon. It has a 10% chance to poison Pokemon, and this destroys fairy type Pokemon, which otherwise Zygarde struggles with. Up next, we got Focus Blast, because we need to get rid of things like Excadrill. We need to get rid of things like Tyranitar. I feel a sneeze coming on. Okay, never mind. Anyways, and then lastly, we got Nasty Plot. We got Nasty Plot. That boosts your special attack stat up by 2 stages. It is amazing. After one Nasty Plot boost, it's fucking over. It's over. It is over! Woo! And then, the EV spread is going to be a Timinator to allow for you to have a nice little boost into your speed. We're going to have 252 special attack, 252 speed, 4 special defense, pretty much balls to walls, no nonsense, all out offensive power. You know the deal by now, friends. Woo! This is amazing. So, that concludes teammate number 2. We got now teammate number 3 is going to be Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor, one of my all-time favorites. It's just so good. It's so good, man. It's so good. So, the item for choice, obviously, is going to be its Mega Stone, the Scizorite. And then the ability is going to be Light Metal. Now, the reason for Light Metal is so that if you're switching in your Scizor to Mega Evolve, what Light Metal does is it halves your weight, which means that you're not going to be taking as much damage from things like Low Kick. And there are Pokemon like Tyranitar, like Weavile, that carry Low Kick. And, well, Scizor is actually pretty heavy. But Light Metal cuts that weight in half. And what I like about Scizor is the fact that this is a Pokemon that would counter easily Mega Diancie without Hidden Power Fire. And if Mega Scizor didn't exist on this team, well then Mega Diancie would pretty much shit all over this team. It would. So Mega Scizor is a must-have on this team. And we got a special defensive variant, which I will get into very shortly. But let's take a look at the moves first. So the first move we got is going to be Bullet Punch. And Bullet Punch is a must-have on this, because when you're Mega Evolving and you get the Technician boost from Bullet Punch, it's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to destroy Mega Diancie. And hence why Mega Scizor is the go-to counter of Mega Diancie for this team, and it's awesome. Up next, we got U-Turn. And U-Turn is going to be also really good when it comes to grabbing momentum for your team. And U-Turn, it's all around powerful. It's good. It is so good. It's base 70 power, doesn't get the Technician boost, but base 70 power, that's nothing to be fucked with. And then up next, we got Pursuit. And Pursuit is base 40 power, but thanks to the fact that it gets Technician boost, it's now base 60 power. And what's even better about this is the damage doubles whenever the opponent tries to switch out. So that means that you can switch in your Mega Scizor on a Latios or Latias. And, you know, they can Draco you and try to do as much damage as they can to you. But then, when they have that -2 special attack drop, they're going to be thinking, well, what the fuck do I do now? Oh man, I should probably switch up. Nope! Denied! Pursuit traps you and deals double damage, Technician boosted, super effective damage. Goodbye. You're done. It's so good. I love Pursuit. And then lastly, we got Roost. Because, hey, we need to keep that shit healthy, yo. We need to keep Mega Scizor healthy. So, yeah. Roost, definitely a must-have. 3 attacks and roost. I love it. It's amazing. So, as for the EV spread, we're going to be going with the careful nature to allow for you to have as much special defense as possible. And, I mean, even without any physical defense investment, which we have 8 EVs for, it's got base 140 physical defense. The thing out-tanks Skarmory. Skarmory, for God's sakes. That's amazing. That's so amazing. So, we got 248 EVs into its HP, 8 into defense, and 252 into its special defense. Now, the reason why we have 30 IVs for its speed is so that, say if you're going up against other base 75 speed Pokemon like Mega Scizor, you want to be able to have a slower U-turn to get the advantage. If they move first, and then they attack you, obviously, they move first, and then you move after them, you can use U-turn, U-turn out, and then that right there will turn into a very advantageous situation for you. So that right there is Mega Scizor. Oh my god. We're only halfway through, and this is getting intense. This is always intense. So, up next, we got Seismitoad. Seismitoad, oh man, it's gotta be one of the most underrated and underappreciated Pokemon in OU. I swear to God. Like, this right here is one of the few bulky Water-type Pokemon that doesn't have to worry about being spammed with Water-type Water-type moves because of Water Absorb. And what's even better about this, let me just go back to Mega Scizor for a second. See, Mega Scizor has a 4 times weakness to Fire-type moves, but Seismitoad tanks those. He tanks them easily because he resists Fire-type moves. But see, Seismitoad has a 4 times weakness to Grass-type moves, but Mega Scizor has a 4 times resistance to Grass-type moves. So, Seismitoad and Mega Scizor, they form an amazing core to take each other's weaknesses so well. It's so good. So anyways, we have a physically defensive build right here, so we got leftovers to allow for you to have passive recovery at the end of each turn. And we're gonna have Water Absorb because, hey, free immunities for the fucking win, man. Free immunities. Not to mention, not just is this thing immune to Water-type moves with Water Absorb, but you gain back 25% of your maximum health whenever you get hit by one. So that means that you'll be walling out choice-banded Azumarils locked into, say, Aqua Jet or Waterfall. All day, bro. Fuck yeah. Woo! So anyways, the first move we got is going to be Earthquake, and Earthquake is pretty much a must-have on this. You want to destroy things that are weak to Ground-type moves, such as Mega Charizard X, such as Diancie, you know, Pokemon like those. Heatran. Man, that thing's a problem. So, Earthquake, definitely a must-have on this thing. Up next, we got Scald, because we need to fish, okay? We need to fish for those burns. This thing with Scald, 30% chance to burn your opponents. Amazing. I love Scald. And then, the next move, we got Knockoff, because Knockoff is such a good move to have on a utility set like this, because what this does is, not only does it cause damage, but it has an increase in the damage when you knock off your opponent's held item, and what's even worse is for the opponent is the fact that they can no longer use their held item because it got knocked off. So, there you go. I mean, that right there is like one of the best moves, in my opinion. And I've said this plenty of times before, Knockoff is one of my favorite moves. It's also very spammable too. So, the last move that we got is going to be Stealth Rocks. Now, Stealth Rocks is actually a very, very, very great must-have on this team, because with Stealth Rocks on the field, you are going to be able to break things like Multi-Scale. You're going to be able to break things like Focus Sashes, like Sturdies, all that good stuff. And Entry Hazards are good, because this also keeps things like Mega Charizards in check, things like Talonflame, things like Volcarona, you know, Pokemon like those. Stealth Rocks are up, it's like, oh, well, fuck. It's like, well, I gotta play around that. Now I'm in check. Now I'm in trouble! So, the EV spread. Gonna go like this. So we got 240 into its HP to give it an odd HP number. We got 8 into attack just to give it a wee bit of attack. We got 252 into its physical defense, and we're gonna be going with a relaxed nature, so that none of our offensive stats are hindered. Now, we don't really need speed per se, but we're not going to be dropping our speed IV to 0. We're going with the relaxed nature because we don't want our offenses to be compromised. So that pretty much wraps up teammate number 4. Whew! Let's go to teammate number 5. Just excuse me 1 second. Oh my god. I am intense right now. Teammate number 5 is going to be Latios. Latios is pretty much the offensive juggernaut alongside of Thundurus for this team. Latios with Life Orb it's amazing. Life Orb boosts the power of your moves by 30% at the cost of 10% of your health. And the ability is going to be Levitate, which is the only ability it has. And it's a good ability because it gives it a free immunity to ground-type moves. And ground-type moves are actually pretty damn spammable. So, the first move that we got is going to be Draco Meteor! Let's drop a Draco on that bitch. And Draco Meteor, it's base 130 power, 9% accuracy, and it lowers your special attack by 2 stages. It's unfortunate, but when Draco Meteor hits, it fucking hurts. So up next is going to be its secondary stab move known as Psyshock. Psyshock is base 80 power and it deals physical damage, even though it's a special type move. It deals physical damage, which means it targets the physical defense of the Pokemon. So that means that things like Blissey, things like, like Pokemon that have a really, really, really bad physical defense is going to be annihilated by Psyshock. Yeah, that's pretty damn amazing. And what's even better about this is it gives you a pseudo-mixed attacking capability, which is amazing. So up next, we're going to go with Recover, because Recover, it's a must on Latios, because you want to keep this thing really healthy. It's also one of the few things that counters the shit out of Rotom Wash. You can switch in on that thing all day and proceed to destroy lives with it. Same with Seismitoad, if we go back here for a sec. It completely walls it out. You just don't want to get burned by this thing, otherwise you could be in trouble. But with Latios, it doesn't give a fuck if it's burned. I mean, it's using special attack, it doesn't care about its physical attack. It'll be char-boiled and it doesn't give a shit. It will be like, yo, I got like a 1,000,000-degree burn, but I don't care because you're gonna get a 1,500,000-degree burned after I drop a Draco on your candy ass. So, Recover, as I said, restores half of your maximum HP, and it is amazing. It's an amazing move to have. And then, speaking of amazing, we got Defog, which is going to be its last move to use, and Defog is a great way to keep entry hazard stacks in check. And because of the fact that we got things like Thundurus and Talonflame that are both really weak to Stealth Rocks, we're going to need to keep Stealth Rocks off of our side of the field. So, Defog, definitely a must-have, although it does get rid of your entry hazards too. If you feel like that the entry hazards are going to cause more of a hindrance than a help, then you need to defog that shit away. And then lastly, let's take a look at the stats here. So, we got a Timid Nature, which means that we're going to be boosting our speed stat to its maximum capabilities, and we're going to be running 252 special attack, 4 special defense, and 252 speed. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just max special attack, max speed, balls to walls, let's go! And then lastly, we got the Smogon bird himself, Talonflame. And Talonflame is going to be, oh man, this thing is going to just completely shit on any Pokemon like Mega Sableye, like Mega Lopunny. Any Pokemon that is physical based or tries to burn you is going to be in trouble. Because Talonflame is a fire type, it eats up burns for breakfast. And what's even better about this is it's going to dish burns back to you. So, take a look at this. So, we have Leftovers as its item to allow for it to have passive recovery at the end of each turn, and the ability Gale Wings. Gale Wings. One of the most busted abilities in my opinion, because Gale Wings boosts the priority of flying type moves by 1. That means things like Brave Bird and Roost, priority. All of it's priority. And speaking of Brave Bird, Brave Bird's going to be our move. Base 120 power with a 33% recoil, but the thing can just roost it off. You ever hear of Brave Bird everything? Well, after a couple of setups, you're going to be Brave Birding everything, alright? Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Up next, we got Roost. And Roost is an amazing move that heals your HP by half of its maximum health. That is amazing. So you could Brave Bird a couple of times, Roost, take a hit maybe once or twice, Roost, bulk up, Roost, bulk up, Roost. You get the idea. And up next, we got Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp is going to be a great way to cripple physical attackers such as Lander Assyrians, such as Mega Lopunny, such as Mega Scizor. You know, Pokemon like those that rely on their large attack stat is going to be useless. It's going to be burned. It's going to be cut in half. And then lastly, we got Bulk Up. Bulk Up boosts the attack and defense by 1 stage. So you could spam Bulk Up, tank hits, even if they're super effective. You'll be tanking hits when they're super effective even, after a few Bulk Up boosts, and even better, if you have Will-O-Wisp to burn your opponents, even Rock Slides aren't going to be able to do that much to you with a few Bulk Up boosts and a Will-O-Wisp cutting their attack stat in half. That it just goes to show how busted Talonflame is, especially in a set like this. I mean, it's already busted as it is with Gale Wing spam, but god damn, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. So, lastly, let's take a look at the EV spread here real quick. So we got a Careful Nature to allow for it to have really good special defense. So we got 248 on the HP to allow for it to switch into Entry Hazards more turns. Not that we want to switch into Stealth Rocks, because that would fucking suck to lose half our health. We got 240 EVs into our special defense and 20 into speed. So we want to have a little more speed than the average setup Talonflame set. Like, because normally you would have either no speed investment or like maybe 4 or 8 speed EVs or whatever. But with 20, you're pretty much safe to say that you'll be able to outpace any stall-breaking Talonflames or any setup Talonflames like this. So that right there is Talonflame for you, and that right there is going to conclude this team and conclude this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, I will be doing a part 2 of this video, that being testing this team out in battle, but for right now, I want to cut things off right here and say thank you guys for watching this video, and if you guys enjoyed this video, then please feel free to give this a thumbs up. And if you enjoy the intensity, if you enjoy the insanity and the passion, and the fact that we're featuring Zygarde in this team, then that's another reason to give this a thumbs up. So, I want to say, thanks for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe to Mega Crasher in the community, because you already know the deal by now, friends! When we're a community that's tightly packed and tightly knit as one, we shine brighter than the sun, baby. So, thanks for watching, and I shall see you guys next upload!